Shit, you guys are quiet. He said, do you know who this is? And you guys are like, fuck this guy. Let's go. Real quickly, yes, I have a TV show. It's kind of stupid. I'll just say that right now. So the guys are like, who's this guy that says he's the muscle? I didn't give myself that nickname. So first off, if you want to be friends with me, don't call me the muscle. My name's Keaton. We have a TV show. It's cool, but that's not why I do what I do, and that really has nothing to do with my daily routine. I own a few companies and I do a few fun things, but mostly I live my life to the fullest. And when I do events like this, that's the whole purpose of me speaking, is to help people understand how to live their life to the absolute fullest. So hopefully it looks like everybody has a pen and paper. I want you to do me a favor, everybody in here. If you don't do it, I'm getting off this stage and overturning your table. I want you to write down, I'll give you like 30 seconds. I want you to write down exactly what you want to get out of this event, number one, and also what the fuck you want to get out of life. And if you don't have that right now, you better have it. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds, write down those two things. While you're doing that, I'm going to tell you, number one, if you don't know what you want in life, you better fucking figure it out. And hopefully, if some of you are here because you don't know, you're going to figure out what it is. The truth is nothing is going to happen in your life if you don't know what you want. On a regular basis, I get to meet with people. And I always ask that question, what do you want? And they spend time thinking, and sometimes they give me stupid answers, superficial answers. Don't give me that bullshit. Write down on the paper exactly what you want. And then, man, these lights are bright. We got a microphone there. I'm gonna ask two people to share that. I'll give you 15 more seconds. And it better not be a paragraph. If it's a paragraph, you need to reevaluate. Write down what you want. And by the way, I always say this anytime I get on stage. If you guys aren't writing down the shit that you're listening to, you're wasting your time. We never really retain things when we go and listen to people. So if you're not writing it down, it's literally in one ear and out the other, which doesn't make any sense. If you guys paid to be here, you paid to become better. You can't really get better if you don't retain the stuff that's given to you. So just as a side note, and I don't care if you write down my stuff, because my stuff's gonna be crazy. Everybody else that comes up on stage, make sure you're writing shit down, because you're gonna go home tomorrow or tonight and think about all the cool shit. Go through your notes. All right, that was enough time. Hopefully everybody has what they want. I don't want to pick anybody. I'm going to let somebody volunteer. Somebody volunteer. I want to hear what you got. Come on. Somebody's got to do it. I'm going to get out and pick somebody. Yes, will you stand up here? Read it. I want you to read it. I want the whole thing. Come to the microphone.
Hey guys, I'm Erin Moore, and I am here to learn better ways to scale my business to the next level and be an incredible team leader.
Okay.
And then my goal for my lifetime is to have enough success to be able to have access to any investment market I want to be in.
Say that last part again, sorry.
Have the success that allows me to be in any investment market I want to be in.
Okay. I want you to reevaluate that.
Pardon me?
In fact, I'm going to give you another chance. I want you to sit down. I like your answer, but I don't want to say it's fake. I want you to look here. I want you to think, actually we do have a mirror. Look at yourself. I want you to give me a real answer. What do you want? What do you want out of this whole entire life? That's your answer. And I'm not going to criticize your answer. I'm just going to make you look deeper. And I think probably some of you wrote some of those answers. But I want you to go back again, and you don't have to come back up. I want you to go back again.
I'm here to learn from you. So
say that one. I can't hear you very well.
I said I'd love to come back. I'm here to learn from you.
Oh, I like that. But what do you want in your life? Forget this event. Forget me. If I walked up to you on the street, I'm a stranger, and I tell you, I can make all your dreams come true. What do you want? I will press a button and it will be yours. What do you want?
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay. While she's thinking, now you guys know, so let's go one more time. I want you to write down what the fuck you want. And if you don't know, that's what you're here for, is to figure out what you want. Now I'm going to share with you mine. I could name a million things, and really good answers, by the way, just like yours. The answer was great. It's not the answer that was wrong, but it wasn't deep enough. What do you want? I have a wife. She's actually here. I have 4 daughters. I know, it's a lot. And I constantly, pretty much almost every day, I think about what do I want? And the answer is so fucking clear. Every time I wake up, it's that I want to be in the emotion of happiness as much as I possibly can. That's it. I don't care about money. I don't care about fame. I don't care about materialistic shit. I just want to be happy as much as possible. And it's an emotion, so it's not something that will remain, but essentially I want to have that as much as I possibly can until I die. Now, knowing what I want, I can go backwards and I can start to create the life that I want that will create the time that I want to be happy. This makes me happy, that makes me happy, doing this, doing that. But essentially, I can't do any of that shit if I don't even know what I want. Now, your answer that you gave is connected to, I want to grow my business and I want to have this, and so the answer is good. But when I'm asking you to do this and what I'm asking you to write down on that paper is the same answer that you should have every single day that you wake up. It shouldn't change. What you want is so deep within you that you don't even have the choice to say what it is. And you should figure that out. And if you don't know, then I'm going to challenge you to figure out what that is. So when I came up here, and by the way, I'm going to have you come back up before I end. When I came up here, or came out here, I didn't know what I wanted to talk on. I'm never very prepared. And about 30 minutes before I left to come out here, my uncle showed up at my house. He looks exactly like my father. It was really weird. My dad passed away 15 years ago. No, 14. I'm 35. And I thought, I was listening to him talk about my dad. We were talking about stuff. And it brought back a memory as to why I live my life the way that I live. And it's something that I want to share with you guys. When I was 21 years old, my dad was really sick. I just got back from a Mormon mission. And my dad laid in our living room dying. And I specifically remember the day that he died. I knelt in front of him. I held his hand. And he wasn't coherent, but he was breathing. And I know he could hear me. And I remember thinking, man, he's really old. He was only 47. I'm like, shit, that's not very old. And I remember thinking, you think he regrets dying this early? Do you think he has any regrets? And I laid there with him, holding his hand on his deathbed. So I had an experience when I was 21 years old about laying in a bed with a man who was my father and having a deathbed experience. I gotta tell you, that will fuck you up. But it can also change everything for you, and that's what it did for me. That's why I'm at where I'm at and doing what I want to do, and essentially tied to one thing, and that's I only want to do in this life what I want. And if I don't know what the fuck it is, how am I going to be able to do it? So essentially, he passed on, and I have lived my life with a motto that actually I just found out had a label. Has anybody heard memento mori? You guys heard that saying before? I think it's Japanese. I don't know. I'm going to sound stupid if it's not Japanese. But anyways, it means remember this is mortality. Remember you're going to die. Now, I sat with a man at 47 years old that laid on his deathbed. I don't know if he had any regrets. My dad was a good guy, but I sure as fuck know he didn't do everything he wanted to do. And from that time forward, I vowed that I would only do the things that made me happy, because that's all I fucking wanted. Whether it was money, whether it was time with my children, whether it was time with my wife, whether it was me time, I would only do shit that I wanted to do. And every single day, and this is not a joke, I don't just say this as a cliche, every single day that I wake up, I literally think, today could be my last day. And the truth is, as you guys look around the room, I'll bet you somebody in here is clicking very soon to the end day. And that's surreal as fuck. That's sobering. Someone in here is not gonna see next month, or maybe next year. And if you can actually take that and comprehend it and digest it, every fucking thing in your life changes. Everything. Because all this stupid stuff that you worry about, all the stupid stuff that you focus on becomes real. It doesn't even become real. It's so fake. Because when you lay on your deathbed, and I don't want to pick on, I forgot your name. Aaron, I don't want to pick on Aaron. But if you lay on your deathbed and I asked you that same question, it wouldn't be that answer. It wouldn't. What do you want, or what did you want in life? Or as you lay here, what was it that you wish you would have had? I'm going to give you an answer. I'm going to give you a sec. Give me 1 second, because I'm going to let you shout it from the rooftop, because I can tell you got a good answer now. But if I live my life like I'm going to die, because we all are fucking going to die, I become everything that I want. And the truth is that at some point, next week, next year, in 10 years, I'm gonna lay on my deathbed. And I can guarantee everybody in this room and anybody who knows me, I will lay there with zero fucking regret. I will say, I did everything I wanted to do. I lived exactly the way that I wanted to live. I did what I wanted to do, period, end of story. I pissed some people off. I made great relationships. I lived and did, and I'm fucking ready to go. And if I can accept that, and I believe that, everything in my life changes. And that is exactly what I want to portray to you guys. As you write down in your books, hey, what is it that I want? I hope you realize you will be gone. Your family, everything you know, it's gone and done. Life's over. You get one fucking shot. My dad's shot was 47 years. I'm betting there's people in here older than 47. And if we can look at life like that, rather than something in the far distance that's going to happen, our perspective will change. And if there isn't anything that you take from me coming out on this stage and yelling at you guys, your perspective needs to change. I have no clue what has been taught up to this point. I don't know if it's been great material, horrible material. I'm betting it's probably good shit. But if you don't integrate that stuff into your lives, if you don't change your perspective, all of this, you guys sitting here doing this, is for nothing. And then in 10, 15, 20, 30 years, when you die, you're going to look back to this moment on this stage when I was here, and you're going to say, fuck, I wish that I would have known exactly what I wanted. Because as I lay here, I have so many fucking regrets. And if there's anything that I can portray to you, you don't want to lay there and die with regret. And if you can actually internalize that thought, every single thing you do on a daily basis, everything will change. How you treat your children will change. How you do business will change. How you interact with strangers will change. How hard you work in the gym, how hard you work on relationships, how hard you do everything changes. Because you know at some point you and the person, whoever it is that you may have a relationship with, will end no matter what. Your life, their life, and then we move on. So, I never ever speak unless I give a challenge. So some of you know, I wrote a book on divorce 2 years ago. It's called The Handbook on Divorce. And in the book, every single chapter, I give a challenge. Because I think knowledge without action is fucking bullshit. And every single person that tells me that they know everything and they don't do a damn thing is an absolute joke. And I think there's a lot of people like that. So when I get up here and when I speak to you, I'm going to give you a challenge. Before I go on, Aaron, let's hear what you got now. By the way, I kind of want one other person to come up. I promise I won't beat you up like I did Aaron. She's been great.
I'll keep this really brief, but I too recently lost my mom pretty tragically 8 months ago. That was day one. Well, she was in the hospital for 9 days. We got slapped with about $2 million in those 9 days of hospital bills, and I will tell you that my family was scared. And so I want what I want out of my life, which is a situation where I've provided that my family will never have to be afraid.
I fucking love it. No, right here, we got to give it up. I love it. That shit gets me hyped. It feels good to hear that because your perspective just changed. Everything just changed. In fact, thank you for sharing that, and I'm sorry to hear about your mother. It's funny when we connect to things like that, what it does for our decision making. And if we can connect on a daily basis to something like that, what it can actually do for our daily lives, and then help us progress, obviously, on into the rest of our lives. Look, the reality is every single one of us have some kind of situation like that. A friend, a family member, even an acquaintance, a coworker that's passed on. And I'm not here to be the guy that's like, fuck, you should think about death all the time, because that sounds horrible. But I am the person that likes to get punched in the face with reality and with truth. And the more that I do that, the more I realize that I get up and do the things that I want to do. If I can portray that to you and get you to do that on a daily basis, I'm telling you, everything will change. Absolutely everything. Now, I'll say this. I don't care if everybody in here believes in God. That's not what this is about. But here's my challenge, and I want you guys to write this down. I want you to start every single day for the rest of your lives. I know that sounds like a huge commitment. By asking yourself when you wake up, if today is my last day, how am I going to live? Just today, just that day. If today is my last day, how am I going to live today? Now, along with that challenge, I want you to find something, whether it's a saying or, anything, that you can take with you throughout the day. I'm the worst about, remembering things. No matter what happened in the morning, I'll forget it by noon. And I know that about myself. But if I take something and I take it with me, or it reminds me on a daily basis, I can kind of carry out the way that I should. I have my wife's gonna laugh. I just built a house, and on the top of our head piece that looks over the valley, I have a saying. She hates it. But I have it there because it reminds me, and it says, if you don't kill it, your family won't eat. Really stupid, I know. Probably all the women in here are like, you let him paint that in the house? But I have it because it reminds me Every single day. I always wake up, and this is not a joke, I wake up every day and I think always like time's running out. And then as the day goes on, I kind of forget shit, I lose track of things. And I always come back to the house midday, mid-afternoon, roll to our bedroom, and there's that saying that reminds me. And it will probably change, but I have something that consistently reminds me, because no matter what, you will forget. If you had a near-death experience this morning, by next week it's going to be numbed out. And that's something that we need to understand as like human beings. No matter how big and crazy shit is, if we don't consistently do something to remind ourselves, we're going to fucking forget. And then you're going to lay in that deathbed again. And that's what I'm pleading with you not to do. I don't really have a message to share with people outside of this one piece. When you lay there and you recount your whole entire life, are you going to have regret, or are you going to fucking smile as you think about going to the next one and think, I kicked the shit out of this life, and I'm ready for whatever's next. And holding that really tight to me, I can't imagine that a lot of people who pass on have that feeling. And that's some real shit. I don't stand up here for you guys, to, like I said, to think about death all day long. And really, I didn't even plan on talking about this today, but I happened to see my uncle that reminded me of my father, that gave me the basis of who I am today. But the reality of it is the reason that I am who I am and why I do what I do is because I'm reminded that tomorrow I'll be gone, or in 10 years or 20 years, and so I'm going to do every fucking thing that I want to do. So I want to end with this, and all of that is set up for this one piece. Everybody here should have goals. Is there anybody in here who doesn't have goals? Now, I want you to raise your hand if you have written down, I don't want to hear it I have it in my mind, written down a 5-year goal. You have written down, raise your hand if you have a 5-year goal written down. Okay. So there's some of you guys that need to be writing some shit down. Now, the reason that I say all of what I said is for one thing that I think makes the difference between someone who's successful and someone who is not successful. I think everybody here knows Jeremiah. Is he over there? I can't see him. There you are, little cute guy. Jeremiah, how old are you?
26.
He's 26 years old, and he's very successful. The reason he's successful, and the reason why every single person that I have ever met is successful, and I met a lot of cool people, is one word: urgency. Fucking urgency. Now, if you don't know what urgency means, it means you need to get it done right now. I hope everybody in here that just raised their hand said I have a 5-year goal rips that shit up and makes it become way more urgent. You're not going to be here in 5 years. Throw that shit away. Turn that 5 years into 1 year. Do you want to be 65, 70, 80 and retire, or do you want to do it now? Do you want to be successful in 10 years, or do you want to do it today? If you are not urgent, you will not see what you want to see. Period, end of story. If you're not urgently engaged in becoming or doing what you want or getting what you want, which you now should know, you will not get there. Period, end of story. So remember, urgency. And to create urgency, you don't have any fucking time. You have no more time. And if you can create those two things and change your perspective every single day, then the answer that you put on that paper is probably going to change. And you're going to get out of this life exactly what you want to get out of it. That's my challenge. Recreate the perspective to change your life. I don't want to leave you with the thought of death. but I do want to leave you with the idea that you need to create urgency to get where you want to be. And you will not do it with a 10-year, 20-year, 5-year plan, because you don't know when you're going to be here. You don't know when you're going to go. Make the decision now. I really, really appreciate you guys. And if I leave nothing else, it's fucking time to get urgent. That's all my time.